Insurrection Act in the city over the continued unrest.
Matt Finn, the very latest. Matt, good morning.
Everyone, happening here in the Twin Cities, immigration agents are doing targeted enforcements and traffic enforcements all around the city. It's happening pretty much all day long, and a lot of time those agents are met with protests and agitators. The backdrop to all that, at the same time, the established protest location is that federal facility that ICE is using as a detention center. Protesters were seen bashing into the fence outside of the federal facility last night. Some were seen scaling. Protesters and agitators were demonstrating against law enforcement for most of the day yesterday, leading up to a tense. A group of patriots also showed up to counter-protest at the federal building yesterday, which led to some clashes. Now, video appears to show a firework at agents. This is happening a lot here. The agents then rush into that person's direction. The protests and riots have been going on a week now, and President Trump is warning he may use the Insurrection Act, writing, if politicians of Minnesota don't obey the law and stop the professional agitators and insurrectionists from attacking the patriots of ICE, who are only trying to do their job, I will institute the Insurrection Act, which many presidents have done before me, and quickly put an end to the travesty that is taking place in that once great state. Now, the tension, DHS says an officer shot an illegal Venezuelan migrant in the leg in self-defense Wednesday night. DHS says it was targeting that illegal migrant in a traffic stop, but the migrant stopped, crashed his car, and ran away. Two other people then ambushed that. DHS released the photos of X, describing them as three criminal illegal aliens from Venezuela in custody this morning. And Fox target, his name is Julio Cesar Sosa Silas. He's smiling in an ambulance after the incident. Border czar Tom Homan tells Fox how the agent who DHS says was beat with a shovel is doing.
I talked to him. He's healing, and he's under medical care. He's in a secure location, not because he's afraid, because of the death threats against agents. Thank God he's alive, and he's healing up. So, you know, it's a travesty. I mean, Laura, I'll say it again. I said it a few weeks ago on your show. If the hateful rhetoric doesn't stop, there's going to be more bloodshed. It's not over.
So we're going on more than a week of the unrest here. It seems like people who identify as patriot or pro-immigration, pro-America are also kind of starting to stand up and maybe push back against the anti-ICE activists. There's at least one pro-patriot rally scheduled this weekend downtown, and we plan to bring you guys updates. Back to you.
Hey, Matt, I know they have suggested and described the attack on the ICE agent by the guy with the shovel as attempted murder. Yeah. We saw those three guys as mugshots. What have they been charged with?
You know, in the DHS release yesterday, they did not identify the actual charges, so we are still looking into that. Our understanding is that they're simply in custody right now, Steve.
Okay. Thank you very much. From the cold street.
The ICE agent's chasing this guy down. He runs for the cops to fight the ICE agent, which, as we said yesterday, I couldn't believe he was alone. They got 3,000 people here. Why is this guy alone? So they're fighting. So this guy feels bold enough to fight. And then these two guys that come out, they're not two kids, two people with generations of history in Minnesota. They're two illegal immigrants by apartment building who go and try to beat up on an ICE agent. Think about the mindset. They're so protected in the sanctuary city. They're so reassured by the mayor's comments and the governor's comments that they're going to go out and help another illegal immigrant beat up an American law enforcement official, and then all three of them get picked up. And these people riot on their behalf? Three illegal immigrant criminals running from law enforcement, and you are continuing to riot and are angry because one got shot in the leg.
Yeah, where is all the illegals who have killed the innocent Americans? I mean, Sean had a great interview last night with Ro Khanna, and he was saying, y'all didn't stand up. The Democrats didn't even stand up for Jocelyn Nungary, the 12-year-old, or Laken Riley, the nursing student who was assaulted and killed, and said, why are you defending these illegal criminals that are pedophiles and murderers and rapists? And he held up 16 pages of the worst criminals and their records. Why are you defending them and not innocent Americans who are doing the right thing? Why are you defending three illegal Venezuelan guys who come out with snow shovels trying to beat the heck out of a police officer? They could have killed him. Why are you defending this girl who rams, what is it, a 4,000-pound car into an ICE agent?
What about the FBI gun case on the bottom of their car that was ripped out? And then you see the video, and then you see them trying to open up the case. I assume they opened up the case, and I think they arrested one guy who was a member of the Latin Kings, a gang member down there.
Well, the FBI, I read this morning in the Tribune of Minneapolis, the FBI is offering a $100,000 reward for information about the people who stole the stuff out of the car because they took documents and other things. You know,
and by the way, Governor Walz says, tape everything.
Yeah.
Good, we taped everything.
Yeah.
Now we're going to go after you.
Well, here's the thing. They have Exhibit A of the guys getting hit with the shovel, right? I mean, even in Venezuela, you cannot hit a cop with a shovel in Venezuela or you get in trouble. There is going to be a gubernatorial race. There is right now. There's going to be an election in November in Minnesota. About a dozen of the Republican candidates for governor were at a debate last night, and they say that Minnesota should cooperate with the feds. The Speaker of the House said the state wouldn't be in this tense situation if it had cooperated with the feds from the start. She said, allow them to get their work done. And a Minnesota attorney by the name of Chris Madel, who's running, said he'd try to get Donald Trump to scale back the number of ICE agents to decrease the tensions while working with the feds to go ahead and get their job done. Remember, ICE wouldn't be there if there was cooperation.
Exactly. Trying to protect the innocent people of this city. Caroline Leavitt yesterday told reporters that Democrats are to blame for escalating the violence, equating the federal agents to Nazis and Gestapo. Here's an exchange with a reporter who seems to be a liberal reporter from the Hill, asking her a question, and she defends Donald Trump and his administration and his actions. Listen.
You were just defending ICE agents generally, and earlier on Secretary Noem spoke to the media, and she said, among other things, that they are doing everything correctly. 32 people died in ICE custody last year. 170 US citizens were detained by ICE, and Renee Good was shot in the head and killed by an ICE agent. How does that equate to them doing everything correctly?
Why was Renee Good unfortunately and tragically killed?
Are you asking me my opinion? Because an ICE agent acted recklessly and killed her unjustifiably.
Oh, okay. So you're a biased reporter with a left-wing opinion.
What do you want me to do?
Yeah, because you're a left-wing hack. You're not a reporter. You're posing in this room as a journalist, and it's so clear by the premise of your question. And you and the people in the media who have such biases but fake like you're a journalist, you shouldn't even be sitting in that seat. Do you have the numbers of how many American citizens were killed at the hands of illegal aliens who ICE is trying to remove from this country? I bet you don't. I bet you didn't even read up on men and women of ICE are doing everything in their power to remove those heinous individuals and make our communities safer.
Plus have been scooped up by ICE, and there might be a few that got caught up in it. Absolutely, no one's 100%. There's been 1.4 million minimum that have self-deported because they took their $10,000 or whatever the deal we offered and said we'll go back on our own. But ICE has to do this with great numbers. I love this guy's like, why don't you, Steve, the person you brought up, the Republican, said, why don't you de-escalate the number of ICE agents? Excuse me, the ICE agents are there to protect other ICE agents because the cops aren't protecting them, because you don't want the net, because a guard can't protect them. That's why you do so many national ICE agents. Have you met Donald Trump? When you challenge him, he's going to double and triple down. Governor Walz is beginning to
हेलो दोस्तों, यार एक बात बतानी थी। मैं ना पढ़ाई छोड़ चुका हूँ, 2 साल मैं घर पर रहा और मैं अब 2 साल में 2024 में मैंने 12वीं पूरी की। उसके बाद मैं अब 2025 में दिसंबर में मैं बाहर आया हूँ काम पे, कंपनी में। तो मैं क्या बता दूँ, एकदम सब कुछ एकदम सपना सा लग रहा है यार एकदम सपना सा लग रहा है सब कुछ। दुनिया कैसे चल रही है आई डोंट नो, लेकिन जो मुझे लग रहा है ना एकदम सपने में जैसे कि मैं चल रहा हूँ यार, ये सब कुछ मेरा सपना ही है यार। मुझे नहीं पता क्या हो रहा। बाहर निकल के आया हूँ घर से और बाहर निकलने के बाद यार कंपनी में ज्वाइन करने के बाद मेरे को सब कुछ कैसा लग रहा है, एक सपना कि हम एक सपने में हैं, बस इससे ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं। हमारी आँख कब खुलेगी आई डोंट नो, नहीं जानता यार। बस करता रहूँगा यार, मैं और कंपनी के भरोसे नहीं बैठा यार, मैं सोशल मीडिया के भरोसे सच में। कंपनी मेरा कुछ महीने तक है, चलेगा, थोड़ा बहुत पैसा हो जाएगा, जिससे भी देखता हो यार उस पैसे से कुछ ना कुछ स्टार्ट किया जाए। देखो मेरे को सब लोग कहते हैं, मेरे घर वाले, जो मेरे साथ लड़का रहता है वो भी मेरे को बोलता है कि अच्छी हाइट है तेरी, सरकारी नौकरी की तैयारी कर ले। लेकिन यार मेरा मन नहीं करता सरकारी नौकरी में पैसा, वो सॉरी पैसा नहीं, सरकारी नौकरी कर ले, अच्छी हाइट है तेरी, सक्सेस हो जाएगा। यार मेरे को सरकारी नौकरी में कोई भी दिलचस्पी नहीं है मेरे भाई, मैंने ही बोल दिया। मैं अभी कंपनी से निकला हूँ यार, घर जा रहा हूँ, मेरा थोड़ा सा ऑर्डर बाकी रह गया था, जिस कारण वो लड़का जो मेरे साथ रहता था वो पहले निकल गया कंपनी से, कि कंपनी वाले ने बोला कि आप जाइए, जो सर थे हमारे सीनियर ने बोला आप जाइए, आपको ऑर्डर हो गया, मेरा बाकी रह गया था, इसलिए मैं उसको पूरा करके अब निकला हूँ। हमारे बीच में ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा 15 मिनट का गैप रहा है, वो लड़का रूम पर पहुँच गया होगा, मैं अब जा रहा हूँ। अब जाएंगे, खाना वाना बनाएंगे, उसके बाद फिर ये वीडियो जाकर एडिट करूँगा, फिर सुबह को मैं, रात में डालूँगा इसको, मैं 1 या 2 बजे के करीब मैं इस वीडियो को अपलोड करने वाला हूँ। टाइम मेरा कुछ टाइम नहीं रह रहा यार, किस टाइम उठ रहा हूँ, किस टाइम जाग रहा हूँ, बस चल रहा है यार जो चल रहा है। यार एक बात बताओ, जो लड़का मेरे साथ रहता है मैं उसके साथ कंफर्टेबल नहीं हूँ बस। वो लड़का कहने से भी मेरे ऊपर, कहने से भी बोले ना कुछ बात ये सुनिए यार, मतलब ऐसे ऑर्डर से देता है ना, क्या बोल रही यार, छोड़ना। ठीक है दोस्तों, ठीक है फिर किसी और वीडियो में, अभी थोड़ा और 5 मिनट लग सकता है मेरे को कमरे तक जाने में। चलो आज कमरे तक मैं लेकर ही चलता हूँ। यार कंपनी वैसे इतना ज़्यादा काम भी नहीं करता यार, लेकिन घर आने के बाद ना नींद जल्दी आ जाती है यार। घर में रूम पर रहते हैं, हम किराए का कमरा ले रखा है हमने, तो यार काफ़ी दूर है। ये चैनल अच्छे से चलता है ना, तो और कुछ भी करो। वीडियो यार 6 मिनट की बन चुकी है, अरे रूम में पहुंचने में मेरे को 3 मिनट का समय और लग सकता है। ठीक है, कोई नहीं, आप चलो एडजस्ट करें। मैंने भी जो आपको दुकान दिखाया उससे हम सामान वगैरह खरीदते हैं घर का खाने के लिए। अभी तो मैं चाहूँ थोड़ा सा टाइम रख सकते हैं, ज़्यादा तो नहीं, बस 2 मिनट। मेरा लड़का जो दोस्त है वो गुस्सा बना हो गया, क्या ही करूँ, अब तो लेट हो गया। यार मैं उससे तो अलग ही रखना चाहता, क्योंकि मैं नाइट में चल जाऊँ, तुम दिन में डे में कर मेरे भाई। फिर भी यार मेरी तेरी इतनी कोई गलती नहीं। मैं अलग अलग करवाना चाहता हूँ तेरा, तू अलग शिफ्ट में कर, मैं अलग शिफ्ट में, तू डे में करता हूँ, मैं नाइट में कर दूँगा। मैं रूम पर मैं कुछ बोलूँगा नहीं गेट खोलने के बाद।